I think if you don't find the right partner, don't get married, because it'll kill your joy, your laughter, your fun, your career for sure.
It's really either or. It's either 0 or 100, like, you know, because I feel like we are so used to mediocrity being the norm that we're okay with just, there's someone for the sake of someone being there. That, you know, we lose sort of appreciation for like valuable relationships.
Yeah.
You know?
I think so. I think your partner should be able to elevate you also, no?
Yeah.
It should be whatever, like male, female, whatever gender you choose, they should bring out the best in you. They should be like, okay, Bani, you are a real estate person, but why don't you start your own podcast? You're beautiful. Why don't you start doing this? And you should do this and you should do that. And I'm gonna, you know, champion you in that sense.
What are your non-negotiables?
My non-negotiables are trustworthiness, responsibility, sense of accountability, reliability. Basically the foundations of any healthy person and maybe a healthy equation that you can forge with someone for the long term. Even if it is for the short term. Like there are how they make me feel, whether I'm made to feel safe, valued, seen, heard, you know, taken into account. All of that. How am I treated? How they treat people in general, you know. I've been conditioned to look out for what other people are feeling more than how I am feeling. And I think now that gaze that I would put out to make sure that I am enough for people is now inward, where I'm like, are they enough for me?
Two complete people can be good partners, or two incomplete people can somehow make it work. But a complete and an incomplete person just don't sit well together.
Perfect relationship is in accepting the fact that it's going to be imperfect. They have to keep working, you know. They say the universe, we are constantly in motion. We are never at the same time in the universe at once. Everything is moving, you know. There's a theory. I think a relationship is like that. It's constantly moving and evolving and changing. And just to understand, let's just say the two people who are in that relationship must be willing to sort of move with each other and have that, and are willing to negotiate with each other constantly. I think you will create the environment that's necessary to have a fulfilling relationship.
So from your experience, what would you say has not worked what doesn't work in a relationship?
This thing, I think, like people like when you're not able to make this work, because one person can't make it work, and particularly like, you know, in modern relationships, people who live in cities, one person can't make it work, because it's only about like, because it's not about like, oh, if you're not married, then what will people say? We're not worried about such things anymore. So if you want a relationship to work, then it has to be that you have to be able to negotiate and talk to each other at all times and make adjustments and solve problems.
Love means what? I'm creating always the right thoughts about you. You may be my way, you may not be my way. I have the potential. I have the power to be able to look at the goodness in you. You may have 10 beautiful sanskars, beautiful qualities, and you have 2 weaknesses. What I look at is my choice. What I focus on is my sanskar. But if I say, वो 10 qualities तो ठीक है, but ये ऐसे क्यों है? So I am the one who is choosing to focus on that one weakness. And I think about it, I talk about it, I want to change you, so I reject you as you are right now. I am critical and judgmental about you in my thoughts. I even speak about you to other people. Other people endorse my pain and they say, अच्छा वो ऐसे हैं, how do you live with them? How do you even manage being with that person in that house? That is enough for me. Okay, other people also agree with me. How do I live with this person? So all that I have to do is to create this clutter. And once I've created this clutter, I can come up to you and say, I'm sorry, I tried, I cannot live with you anymore because you are not the one I feel I can live with. It's about you. And then the other person is going to automatically feel the same.
The beauty of falling in love is you realize you have love to give. And so when you fall out of love with a romantic partner, you can now give that love to other areas of your life. Like your friends, your family, your parents, your interests.
Yeah.
That were like a plant that is dying. It's like, oh.
But I don't understand this perception that when you fall in love, all of your attention from everywhere else has to go to one person. I don't think it works.
It depends
that
on the
way.
intensity of love. It depends on what life you're in. It depends on your. It's very, very subjective. I happened to fall in love at a time where it was so intense that almost consumed me, but I enjoyed it.
I think just if you want, and that's my personal opinion, love to be a part of your life in the longevity of things, then I think that you have to love other things outside of your partner also. And I don't mean another person. I'm not saying that, but you have to love your work. You have to love your family. You have to have a life outside of that partner also, just so you can actually maintain a healthier, longer relationship. I feel like the intense ones, they peak and trough like very quickly.
That's a very smart take. Unfortunately, when I fell in love, I had nothing going on for me.
Where curiosity and romance and interest, these are emotions where two people are required. It's more like a collaboration where it's a give and take relationship,
Yeah.
you know. Love, on the other hand, is an emotion which can only be given. It is not in correlation with an object or with a person or an entity. It is something that you have inside you. So you do not need to look for love from outside of you. You are born with it. There's a sense of power in love. It does not make you feel weak because it does not demand. When people say, ask about unconditional love, love itself is unconditional.